friends, how's it going? This is INXJOY, and today we're going to be doing a pick a card reading on why did my soul reincarnate? And it's kind of just like a fun little reading. I've been reading a lot on akashic records, and I'm diving deeper into more of soul paths and soul journeys, so I thought this would be a fun practice to share with my friends here on this channel. So thank you for coming by. Yeah, we have 4 piles for today. We have pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, and pile 4. You can pause here to meditate on your pile, to choose. You can choose multiple piles. This is your reading, so play with it as much as you want and have fun with it. Yeah. And just a little bit more before we get into the reading, I just want to say thank you so much for your support and love. I so appreciate all the beautiful comments and beautiful people that come to my channel who resonate with these messages. You are amazing and awesome, and I couldn't do this work without you. Also, today we're not only pulling from the divine source in regards to channeling, but also the record keepers for you, for your pile. Yeah, from the Akashic records. Okay, awesome. I will see you at your pile. Hi pile 1, how's it going? If you've chosen obviously pile 1, then this is your reading. So for this reading today, we're going to be asking the question, why did my soul reincarnate? This is just the main cards, just to see your energy and how you're feeling right now, but we're going to be pulling more cards as we go along the reading. All right, so let's begin. You have 2 cards. You were the only pile that got 2 cards too, which is really cool. You have the card Archway, as well as the card Broom. Okay. Archway, new opportunities, possibilities, and pathways opening up. Broom, new home, new attitude. Love that for you. So I'm hearing new soul. You're a new soul. So right off the bat, we're getting that in terms of why you reincarnated, it's for the experience of being on this physical earth, experiencing the beauty, the nature. I'm also getting a deck that comes to mind, which is called Earth Warrior, so I might pull that out for you later. But it feels like your soul reincarnated so that you can experience these new opportunities, new possibilities, new paths, to open new pathways as well for the collective here on Earth. You're probably someone who heavily resonates with being an Earth warrior, a social justice leader, someone who loves other humans, animals, nature. It feels like you're someone who saw the vibrancy of Earth. Your soul saw the vibrancy of Earth and wanted to see what it was like to be here. So this is a very new experience for you. It feels like you might be someone who is basically cleaning up the earth, cleaning up the world, you know? And it's interesting. It feels like you're someone, because I just heard a bird call, so you're the one who signals to others the ways in which life should be led. You know, you're a very inspirational being to other people, but it's not like you're trying to force others to follow what you're doing. It's just that you lead by example, you know? It feels like you're also this bridge. You're the bridge that connects realms. So you're also probably a channeler. You're probably someone who also does tarot readings. You might be a medium. You just have this ability to tap into the divine, who already has access to your Akashic records, who, even if you don't really know or aren't familiar with that, it feels like you're very in tune, very in line with what you already plan to do on this earth. So let's pull more cards for you. Okay. For my pile ones, divine source, keepers of the records. Oh, thank you. All right. Oh, these are beautiful. You have Josephine Baker to start with. You have Sarah M. Grimke and Angela Grimke Wield. Very familiar with these ones. And you also have Edith Spurlock Sampson. Oh, interesting. Okay. So let's start with Joseph Baker. She was a performer, activist, and a spy. All right. She was drawn to glamour of the theater. She danced. She joined traveling dance troupes. She was on Broadway. Yeah, and she became a French citizen in 1937. She's very known for a magnetic stage presence, red lipstick, and outrageous promotional antics, including walking with a leopard down the Champs-Élysées. A politically courageous woman, Baker fought racism throughout her life and was a member of the French Resistance in World War II, for which she earned both the Medal of Resistance and later the Legion of Honor. In 2021, she was inducted into the Pantheon, becoming the first Black woman to receive France's greatest honor. Beautiful. I'm also seeing that you're probably someone who catches a lot of people's eye. So you may be an influencer, but you may not be. Take this as it resonates, but it feels like regardless, you're someone who naturally attracts people. You might have a Leo rising. Again, take this as it resonates, but it's not like you're trying to put yourself out there. It's just the world wants you to be put out there, you know? The world wants people to see you, see your beauty, see how magnificent you are, see how lovely and gorgeous. You know, people are really drawn to beauty, and it feels like you're someone who has that magnetism, but uses that magnetism for good. You use it to invoke a very hopeful, joyful, playful, and dare I say, peaceful kind of environment around you. You're someone who really knows their worth and is very courageous. So again, you're probably one of my Free Palestine babies. You're probably standing up for Sudan, Congo. You're probably recognizing the injustices that are happening with the war in Ukraine. Like, there's a bunch of different ways you are involved in earthly matters. So Edith Spurlock Sampson is a lawyer and judge. She did social work, then law, and she claimed to speak from the heart and let the law take care of itself. Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah, so you're someone who also speaks from your heart. And I'm seeing the justice card, as well as this being a lawyer and judge. You're someone who speaks the truth. You're someone who is able to have a good discernment of others. So it's like people who are drawn to you, you're still very discerning because you don't let anyone in your circle, you know, because you have this big heart, this generous soul. You're someone who can connect with the general public. And yeah, this woman was a goodwill ambassador. And she offered free legal services to African American women and children, and became the first Black judge in America in 1962. So you're someone who makes waves. You're someone who really what your soul wanted to reincarnate and do is be able to discern people and basically kind of give them their just desserts. And I think that's really highlighted with Sarah M. Grimke and Angela Grimke Wells, who were activists and writers. So you do this through your words, you do this through how you speak, how you write, and you really are someone who is here to bring justice, especially social justice, environmental justice, but also social justice. Because these two ladies were repulsed by the enslaved people and were among the first women to speak publicly against slavery. So again, you have that very courageous vibe to you where you're one to speak out against injustices no matter how people see you. You refuse to abide by social conventions, and you advocate for the rights of others, especially women's rights. Living in this patriarchal world that's crumbling, might I add, you're someone who's paving a way for new generations to be able to be proud to be feminists, proud to be able to access multiple aspects of the self, proud to be able to lead with the heart. That's who you are. That's why your soul reincarnated, is to remind others that it is okay to be yourself in such a loving, emotional, beautiful, and discerning way. Okay, let's get a couple more cards for you. So why did my pile ones reincarnated? Why did their soul reincarnate? Interesting. You have Sun in Capricorn. Status. Work diligently towards your goals. And you also have Sun in Pisces. Higher purpose. We love that for you. Align yourself with love and wisdom. And I think that is very telling. These two cards are very telling. So it's like, and I love how it's aligned like this, because not only do you work hard, but you work hard knowing that you came here for a purpose. You align yourself, like I said earlier, you align yourself with the akashic records so fluidly that sometimes you don't even have to recognize or be in the know of what you're doing. You just do things because it feels right to you. And you are someone who really works hard to obtain this standard, you know what it's like to be human and make mistakes, but it's like once you make the mistake, you learn from it. Your soul came in here and reincarnated to give this new hope, this new possibility. This is a new home for you. Earth is a new home for your soul. And you bring this new attitude so that not only you, but future generations can benefit from the knowledge that you have, from the heart that you carry inside of you. Your soul here is urging others through your status, your hard work, as well as the higher purpose that you are aligned with. It's urging others to reconnect back with who they are and to treat others in the ways which they want to be treated, to treat others with compassion, with grace, with kindness. So why did my pile one soul reincarnate? Thank you. You have Two of Cups. Yeah, to love. I'm hearing to love. You have Page of Pentacles. To work, to bring back the divine feminine. And it doesn't matter what gender you are. It is just the notion of being able to be in this very compassionate, nurturing, loving energy, The divine feminine, she's very receptive, but in the ways in which she's also very protective. She's fierce in how she goes about things. And for so long, the divine feminine has been like stomped out of the world, that it's coming back. You can never truly erase the divine feminine or the divine masculine. It just has cycles to it. If you ever watched The Legend of Korra, and if you remember Katu and Rava, the two spirits of 10,000 years of basically the divine feminine, masculine, you know that one cannot exist without the other. And I'm not trying to say one's better than the other. I'm just trying to say that we've been imbalanced on this earth by leaning into more harmful aspects of what divine masculine is. So we're bringing back the era of divine femininity to bring that balance, to bring that knowledge, to bring the senses, to bring awareness, you know? So why did my Padawan's souls reincarnate? Thank you. We also have the Queen of Pentacles, as well as the Queen of Cups. I think that's so fitting for you. It feels like you are here to lead others by showing them what's possible, by giving them this fuel of abundance. Through you, your presence alone just gives others energy, the will, the hope to live, to love, to laugh, to learn, to be able to be themselves. And again, it's in a way where you are able to kind of hold people and hold that space for others. Your soul reincarnated to care, to love. Again, it's very nurturing. It's very loving. It's very... I'm hearing Pleiades. So you might be a starseed and you might resonate with the Pleiadian starseed, or the Sirius starseed, or the Lyran starseed. But yeah, regardless, it feels like you are someone who is here to heal. Through your presence alone, through the way you think about things, how you morally accept everybody, how you love everybody, how you unconditionally, compassionately just hold space for everybody. You're here to show others that living in a beautiful way like that is possible. Loving in a beautiful way is possible, Your power of thought, the power of suggestion, the way you move about the world is possible. As long as we choose how to condone ourselves, choose to smile, choose to enjoy, choose to be discerning. Because again, it's a very interesting balance of you still won't take shit from anyone, you're still someone who very much, your soul reincarnated to give that justice, to give that sense of worth, sense of purpose, so that the human evolution moves on, so that people socially are very much aware of how they're acting and how they're behaving and how to treat others, especially in this compassionate and courageously, fiercely loving way. That is why your soul reincarnated, my dear. It is to be that knowledge bearer. It's to be that keeper of light, of being able to guide others through known paths, And I'm getting the girlies that get it, and the ones that don't, Not everyone's gonna be for you, because they might be like cockroaches and they might literally spread out and scatter when the light hits them, because they can't take it. You know, some people like to live in the darkness. Some people like to not be guided by forces that are beneficial. You know, some people like to cause harmful states of being, and it's nothing that you can do, nothing you can help. It's just not, that's just not your MO. That's not your purpose. That's not who you are. You are someone, your soul reincarnated to be someone who represents this powerful light being, this knowledge bearer, this person who cares about others compassionately. And you do so in a way where you allow others to emote. You hold space for others to emotionally be present. You know, you're someone who very much gives others the chance, the space, the love to heal in a lot of ways. Again, you might be an active listener, and people might come up to you randomly and just tell them their problems to you. You know, like, just because you're someone who's so kind and holds that space and has that energy too. So yeah, and you have the ability, again, to bring justice. So the ones that need the healing and are deserving of your time and presence, you allow that space. But the ones that aren't that way, you put in boundaries, you block them. You have this protective aura around you that doesn't allow people to interfere or to take from your energy, because you're just so kind, you're so sweet, you know? Sweet like sugar, you know? Like, you're someone who just represents such a heaven on earth that is possible. And that's why your soul reincarnated. This is a very new space for you, but you did it in an act of love. And so you might feel very uncomfortable sometimes. You might feel kind of out of place sometimes, because the way in which you condone yourself, the way in which you live is very different from a lot of people. You know, you don't buy into a lot of social status kind of games. You don't buy into vanity. You don't buy into overconsumption. You don't buy into harmful things. You know, you, again, care for your soul, care for others, and you have this very Übermensch, if you study Nietzsche, this very overman, this very being of divine connection, that you're here to, again, lead others and establish this new possibility, new path, new home, new attitude towards life, you know? This is not one just for surviving for you. This is thriving. This is being joyful, being playful, for always having that kid-like energy, that beautiful heart and compassion to just be yourself. It's a very authentic reincarnation for you, and it's one that leads others to be themselves, you know? It's that saying, like, when you allow yourself to shine, you allow others to do the same. And that's why your soul reincarnated here on earth at this time. So keep doing you. Your presence is so needed and valued and loved. And know that you always have a space in a community within this channel and other spiritual tarot readers, because I find that a lot of them are really sweet and very gentle and nice, and will hold space for you when you need it, because I know that you're not alone, and you have such a beautiful, compassionate soul that you deserve to have a community that has the same type of attitudes as you. So yeah, thank you so much for being here in my pile ones. It's such a delight, such a treat to have such a discerning and good head on their shoulders kind of person be able to come to my channel. So thank you so much for letting me read for you today. I hope this was fun for you. I hope you enjoyed. Yeah, and I hope you have a wonderful day, night, or evening. Take care. Bye. Hi, my pile twos. If you've chosen this card, then this is your reading. So we're asking the question of, why did my soul reincarnate? And we're just going to get into it. This will be your energy present and this reincarnation, and then we're going to pull more cards. So you have Vine, seek out information that will help you. It's very interesting. So currently, you are here to learn about yourself. This reincarnation, why your soul reincarnated, is for you to recognize your self-worth, self-care methods, to learn a lot about how you operate through the world, through the lens of others, through the lens of different cultures. It feels like you're someone who has this intertwining structure and it's guided by the all-loving law of life that governs the weaved blanket aspects of life. And what do I mean by that? I mean that you play your part, you know? You step up to the plate when you're needed. But mainly this is a lifetime or this period of your life right now, in terms of why your soul reincarnated, is one where you are learning a lot about yourself, you know? It kind of reminds me of when you're kind of an adolescent, a teenager, and you are in a stage where you're just trying out a lot of new things, you're going through a lot of new phases, you know. It kind of reminds me of Gen Z with all these different trends, different fads, and you're kind of being able to put on these different hats so that you can recognize what feels right to you, what feels like you, what feels like your soul. You're here to reconnect back with your soul, which is interesting. So it's a really interesting reincarnation for you, because you get to just kind of learn to love yourself and be in love with yourself and be in love with others and in the world. It's really one where you are focused on spiritual attainment as well. And through like a more individualistic, a more self-discerning, intuitive way, you know? You don't need others to guide you or tell you how to live your life. You are here to explore that for yourself, you know? You don't need to go to religious authorities or spiritual leaders for your self-knowledge or self-attainment. You get to do that for yourself. That is why you reincarnated here, is just to learn a lot about who you are and who your soul is. Okay, so let's see. My pile twos. You have Nellie Bly, who was a journalist and inventor. She did development of investigative reporting. Yeah, so this is just highlighting the fact that you are here to, again, do a lot of investigation upon yourself, and also investigation on like why the world is what it is, you know? You also have Susan B. Anthony, who was a suffragist. She secured the women's right to vote and inspired to join the suffrage movement. So you're here to, again, fight for the rights of others as well, through your own attainment of knowledge of yourself. Again, you might be someone who has gone through a lot. You're probably someone who has gone through a lot of trials, tribulations, who has been oppressed through numerous different types of ways, through the social systems that are upheld. Again, you're someone who is learning a lot on how to play the game on Earth, and you're learning how to make your own rules, you know? And I think that's a big one, because just like my pile ones, when you shine your light, you allow others to do the same. So when you learn more about yourself, you allow others to be themselves around you. And that could be like being able to stand up for what's right, being able to be authentic and true to your values. Like, you're someone, for this soul that's reincarnated, you're just here to be yourself. And you probably find it really disgusting and horrendous when other people don't allow that kind of things. You're very much against bullying. You're very much against harmful behaviors that don't allow others to expand and thrive and grow, you know? Oh. And you have Sun and Libra harmony. Why am I not surprised? Enjoy life with music, love, and romance. Yeah. You bring harmony to the environment, to people around you. That's why your soul reincarnated, is to give that love. But it's kind of different than my pile ones. Like, my pile ones were more about, this is a new soul reincarnation for them on Earth. This is more of, you kind of feel more like an INFP, like a mediator. You feel like someone who can balance out situations well, you know? When there's too much fighting, too much destruction, too much chaos, because again, destruction and chaos aren't a bad thing. It's just when it gets to an extreme, it can cause a lot of damage. It feels like you're here to do preventative measures to kind of mitigate the damage, you know, minimize the damage. You're here to really allow for yourself and others to accept themselves so that less destruction happens, you know? Like, you're there to prevent more harmful aspects from happening, you know? If you ever heard the saying, like, it's something like, it takes a whole village. It takes a village to raise a child, right? Like, you're here to remind that child that they're a part of something bigger, so that less destructive behaviors happen, you know? And very preventative. You also have Moon in Libra, a lot of Libra energy. This is a beautiful card. I've never seen this card yet. Bring peace to your life and your relationships will flourish. Look how gorgeous this card is. Moon in Libra. Yeah. This is a lifetime for you, for your soul to reincarnate, to really bring in that love to those that need it by having the information for you, by giving yourself that love, self-care. You allow yourself to pour into others, and you know that you can't do that unless you give into yourself first. You know, you can't flourish and thrive and like help others flourish and thrive until you pour into yourself. So it feels like you're very evolved when it comes to understanding who you are and understanding the ways in which you can love and care for yourself so that you can care for others. You're very connected. Like I was saying with the weave of the blanket earlier, you do your part, you know, you make sure that people don't feel left out. You include everybody. That's what Libra does. It's a very inclusive kind of sign because of the relationship aspects. Like personally, I know I have a brother whose sun is in Libra, and he has a very wide range of friends that he connects to and helps. And whenever in my household that things would go awry between me and my mother, my brother would be the one to mediate, to be able to kind of cool the waters and temper it, to be able to emotionally discern and handle the situation so it wouldn't get out of hand. So that's how it feels like with you. It feels like you're that person who's able to bring in that peace, to able to bring in that harmony, to let other people feel heard and seen and connected too. That's how you feel. So it's one where you're definitely one that like pours into yourself and has a lot of time and space to get to know yourself and love yourself. But you do that so that you can give back to others. And that's such a beautiful soul. It's such a selfless soul. It's very much one where you're just like a warm hug. That's how you feel. You feel like a warm hug. Okay. I just saw 11:55. So you bring in new beginnings and you change. You bring in this beautiful constant change to those around you in a way that's very companionship-like, very harmonious. So why did my pile 2 souls reincarnate? You have, yeah, and as I was saying, in regards to change, you have the Tower as well as the High Priestess. I think those are beautiful cards for you to have. I think that's absolutely perfect. And they're both major arcana cards too. So this is a very important lifetime in regards for you to being able to be that change maker. It feels like you hold the aspects of mercy and compassion at your hands. You hold the knowledge and the wisdom to temper emotions. And again, you're very much able to be in very conflicting, very traumatic almost. And I don't want to say traumatic, but very like uprooting, very harsh kind of scenarios. And you're able, like high level stress environments, you're able to handle that with such grace and compassion and intuition and inner guidance of how to move forward. You're able to again look at a lot of different emotions that people have and bring that into a heart space to cleanse that, clear that, hold that, balance that. Yeah, it's fucking wild. It is wild how much your presence just calms the area, you know? You probably walk into the room and people are probably very, very happy that you're there because they feel very protected and very safe with your presence around. They're like, oh, my pile twos came to the party, perfect, because now I feel so much more at ease. I feel like nothing, if anything were to go wrong, we're covered, you know? And it's not that you personally take that responsibility on your back. It's more of like you are like an earth angel, you know? You were there, and your presence alone allows others to be their best selves around you. It's like people want to be good around you. They want to be someone who exudes your level of harmony and compassion, so that they are at your level. You know, you bring this elevated vibe to wherever you go, and it's not in a stuck up way. It's not like, ew, no, I'm not gonna talk to people who've made mistakes in the past. No, it's like, I see your mistake, I recognize where it comes from, I love you anyways, go and move forward into the world, understanding this lesson and moving in a more compassionate way, so this doesn't have to happen again. It's very much like Jesus vibes, you know? Like, I'm getting very emotional when I say that. If there's like a song, because I used to be Catholic, I was raised Catholic. I no longer hold that title, but I do appreciate and still do love the spiritual upbringings that I was able to learn. But all that to say is that there's this song that used to be played when I was a kid, and the lyrics were, I'm getting so emotional when I say this, so excuse me. It's, I forgive you, I love you, you are mine, take my hand, go in peace, say no more, beloved one. Yeah, and you just bring that healing, you bring that emotional healing to others. Wow. I didn't expect to cry in these readings, but like that's what you do. You allow people to be themselves and emotionally be forgiven. And that's such a superpower. Not a lot of people can forgive, you know? A lot of people hold that resentment and bitterness, but your soul reincarnated so that you allow people to heal from those past pains and let them go. So why do my pile twos reincarnate? Apparently we're only taking upright today. So if you have justice upright, which is really interesting because it's very similar to my pile ones. And you have the 5 of Wands. We'll take this one in reverse. Oh, no, I'm hearing no, take it upright, take it upright. So, yeah, we'll take it upright. It feels like you're this. In the 5 of Wands, there's this like thing coming down from the sky, just being this blaze of light. It feels like it's something that stops the fighting, you know, that quells the fighting. Like there might be a whole scene going on around you, but you remain in this period of being someone who brings justice, who brings harmony. And I'm really being pulled to the owl on this justice card and the snake on this justice card. So you're someone who has a lot of knowledge, who is very resourceful, who is very nourishing. I'm hearing that this isn't your first rodeo. So unlike my pile ones, you're someone who, this isn't your first time on earth. Yeah, this isn't. And we're gonna pull out a couple cards to see. You have bell announcement, as well as pin, new job, career. So this isn't your first time on earth, but this is the first time you are in a position of being this harmonious, this mediator in your life. I don't want to say you're exactly an old soul, but you're not exactly a new soul either, you know? It feels like your soul has come down a few times here, but this is the first time that you're doing it in a way where your presence is really being highlighted through the relationships that you have. And a lot of your soul's mission, a lot of why of you reincarnated onto this planet at this time is to bring that balance. Again, justice is ruled by Libra, you know? It is the card of harmony. It's the card of balance. It's the card of discernment. And you have 3 major arcana cards here. So this lifetime is very important in regards to you being able to be someone who just holds space for others to love. And it kind of feels like you might be in career positions where you bring new life into it. So you might be like a relationship coach, you might be a therapist, you might be someone that deals with social work, you might be a wedding planner, you might be an events coordinator. It's something that has to deal with other people and bringing this new life to others. You know, it feels like it might not even be that. You might be in a service-oriented position too. So you might be like a cashier or a barista or a bartender or a nail technician, like someone who allows others to be themselves. But whatever job you do, you give this space for others to talk about their feelings, to emote, to be forgiven, to release, to be allowed to be themselves without any judgment, without any harshness. You are someone in this reincarnation that just has so much social skill developments that you get a lot of people who probably ask for your advice. They probably really want to know or just have you listen to them. You have that social skill development that, again, you really quell the conflict. So why your soul reincarnated is to be this mediator, really. It's to be someone who's not only, that's like your, like that's your outer, more public reincarnated purpose. But your first inner core, because you have the high priestess, is to have this inner guidance, this inner intuition, this knowledge of yourself. That is your primary reason why your soul incarnated. And you did that so that when you have that good grasp on who you are and how you handle yourself, you then can expand that outwards and play your part. You know, you have a very generous, compassionate, loving, harmonious soul, and you bring peace to yourself and the relationships around you so that they can flourish, you know. It might be like, I'm also getting like the last thing, someone might do something weird, because like, for example, I've been watching like a lot of like Charlotte Dobre, love her, but she spills a lot of tea, you know. She gives us a lot of like drama-filled aspects of life. It feels like when those drama-filled aspects come in, you're that steady rock to hold space for those who are going through it. And it's because you have that experience of yourself. You've probably already experienced that for yourself. Again, it's very much you get to try on different hats of who you are, and then you allow others to do the same. Yeah, that's a very interesting reincarnation, because like it's one where, again, it feels very much like an adolescent period. So it's like, or like a young adult period. So like that's what your soul is. It's not necessarily an old soul, but it's not like a new soul that's like a baby. It's like in this in between of like teenage, young adult, where relationships are very highlighted, very important, and the self-determination, selfhood, self-development is very highlighted as well. That is why your soul reincarnated, and that's the journey it's on. So yeah, this is a fun one. I really hope you enjoyed. And I'm seeing 155, so keep being a mediator, keep making those waves of change, keep being your harmonious, beautiful self that's able to bring this beautiful balance and justice to the chaos that surrounds you and the lives of others, which is just what human life is sometimes. You know, it feels like with you, your life is never a dull moment. You know, like it feels like you are like the steady rock, and you're not exactly involved in the drama, but you are that like friend who gets to hear about all the tea of the drama and then helps the person in the drama like be able to sort themselves out. That's how you feel. You know, you feel like that friend that people go to when their lives are like chaotic so that they feel a sense of peace. Yeah, that's why your soul reincarnated, is to really be like, and when you're not dealing with relationships, it's to be able to like know yourself and really dive into so many aspects of what you love and what you enjoy and what you love about life. That is why your soul reincarnated. So yeah, keep being you, keep being amazing, keep discovering more and more and more and more about yourself. Keep loving, being in love with yourself, being in love with life, and being in love with the people around you, because you just bring so much relief to yourself and to others, to the environment around you. So thank you for being you. Thank you for listening and letting me read for you today. It's been a fun time, and I really hope you enjoyed. Have a great rest of your day, night, or evening. Bye. Hi, my pile of threes. If you've chosen this card, then this is your pile. So today we're asking the question of, why did my soul reincarnate? And this card is just your energy present of what your soul's going through in this reincarnation. And we're going to pull more cards as the reading goes on, giving more layers of why your soul reincarnated. So let's begin. You have older man. Dealings or relationship with an older man. That's interesting. I was not expecting that. I'm not gonna lie, I was not expecting that for a reading, but it feels like you're here to represent what a healthy masculine is. No matter what gender you are or identify as, it feels like you exude this energy of what it means to be a healthy masculine. It feels like you are a role model. It feels like you also might deal with people who are older men, in regards to you, that like you might be surrounded by a lot of older men in your day-to-day life. And what happens is that you give this sense of very, very much like respectability, and other people really want your your kind of respect as well. It feels like with this card especially that you are an older soul. Unlike my pile 2s and my pile 1s, this pile feels a lot more like an older soul. So let's get into it. So for my pile 3s, why did their soul reincarnate? And you have Beryl Markham. She was an aviator, author, and adventurer. She was a bush pilot and a writer. First person to fly nonstop east to west from England to North America. Crash landing in Nova Scotia. Again, this is still very masculine energy, but like in the sense of adventuring, in the sense of exploring, in the sense of being courageous, trying new things, you know? You also have Belva Lockwood, lawyer activist. She drafted an equality bill for women government workers, and she single-handedly lobbied a bill through Congress, enabling women's attorneys to gain admittance to the Supreme Court bar. Lockwood herself became the first woman to achieve that distinction. She also ran for presidency, and this is very much healthy masculine vibes. That's how you feel. You feel like someone who, again, it feels like a first for you. It feels like you are an older soul, but it's like you are like the first person in your family lineage to break the norms of patriarchy, you know? You're like the first person to be courageous enough to speak up against different aspects of wrongdoings in the social settings that you might have with men. You know, if you are with a bunch of men, it feels like you're the opposite of what a pick-me is, you know? You're not wanting anyone's respect, you're not really craving anyone's validation, but everyone's craving it from you. It feels like, again, you are someone who can be in very hyper masculine settings and still hold your ground in regards to taming the alpha males, you know? That's how it feels. It feels like you're someone who doesn't give a shit about what these quote unquote alpha males, or just boys, like what they say, because you recognize in yourself the healthy aspects of masculinity, of being able to be a protector for others, a provider for others, someone who holds space for others, who nurtures others, who gives others a chance to be themselves by giving this realm, this sphere of protection around you. It feels like your soul reincarnated to shit disturb those that don't get it, you know? Unlike my pile 2s where they are, and pile 1s who have those boundaries, it feels like you're the one who has the sword and you're ready to fight. Regardless of your boundaries, you know that people who come across you, they'll come back with their tail between their legs, you know? They will wish they've never even tried to fight you. They wish that they were you. That's how it really feels. And again, it doesn't matter what gender you identify as. It's this feeling of you being this older soul. So you always having that realm of protection and guidance of intuition and other past lives. Like you have past life dividends. So you still have the soul remembrance and the soul attainment of previous lifetimes for you to be in this really high position of being able to stand up to those who are doing wrong. You know, what I'm getting in my head is there's this story about this woman who went on this date and she was about to get like abducted and used for let me spell it out for you. SEXTRAFFICKING. Yeah, she was going to be like, her date was going to do her wrong in that way because there was another person who was going to basically ABDUCT her. But what happened is that she dialed in and she became more crazy, and she literally, like, she didn't back down from this. She was just like, no, this isn't happening. I'm going to continue to drive my car. I'm not going to let anyone in, and my date will have to deal with this fact that I will not let myself be put into a position of danger, you know? And at the end of the day, she had the person she was supposed to be on a quote-unquote date with being like, oh, can I get out of the car? You know, like, you put other people to shame. Those people who are doing wrong, those people, and I, again, like, God forbid, knock on wood, anything bad ever happens to you, but it's more the sense of you're able to handle a lot of things that most people aren't. You're able to do it and finesse it in such a way where you have this kind of almost taunting, like, energy to you. I'm also getting the image of John Oliver. If you know him, he's this British comedian and as well as actor and news reporter who loves to make people angry. And it's like in such a playful kind of trickster element way, because he loves to make the right people angry, you know, those who are doing wrong, those who are causing harm, those who are being a nuisance to the community, to the social spheres at large. He loves making them mad, and we love that, you know. It's a different side of social justice and activism that's not really talked about too much, which is this very healthy masculine being able to be there to defend those that can't. You are the ones that stick up for the underdog. You are like the master, the guru. You are the teacher, the leader, guiding other people in regards to how they can control their inner masculine side. The side that's there to be loving and protective and supportive and caring and provides people with nurturing, you know? I'm also getting an image of Mr. Miyagi from The Karate Kid. So that's how it feels like to you, like who you are and why your soul reincarnated is to be this huge protective force that nurtures, that teaches, that guides the next generation, that guides the people around them in order for them to be better human beings, to not fall for the traps of patriarchy, to not fall for the traps of overconsumption and harming others for fun, you know? You give this sense of morality, and you give this sense of justice, but in a way in which you don't take people's bullshit. It feels more like vigilante justice, you know? It feels like you're not going to let people take advantage of other people, you know? You're also someone who's not going to let anyone take advantage of yourself. So yes, we love that for you. We absolutely adore that for you. Okay, so why did my pile 3s reincarnate? Why did my pile, thank you. I knew it. I knew Capricorn was going to come out. So you have eclipse in Capricorn, new direction, reevaluate success. Yeah. I love me a Capricorn. Absolutely love me a Capricorn. And it feels like you are the person who reevaluates what it means to be successful. You don't do it in the traditional way. Success for you isn't deemed as, oh, how much money can I attain? Oh, how many people can I be in romantic relationships with? No. How much status can I have in the community? You know, that's not your MO. You're not trying to be someone who is perpetuating the patriarchal norms. You are the person that reevaluates those norms and is like, that doesn't seem right. That doesn't seem like that should be happening. Why are you whoring out and having all these people be in your roster and playing these people and breaking their hearts? Like, you're the person that really gives that sense of morality to other people, and you make them question who they are. You make them question why they think the way they are. They're like, you're the person that's like, why do you want all this money in the first place? Like, what are you gonna do with it? What kind of happiness will this bring to you? You reevaluate people's successes. You really make them question why they're living. You give this very existential notion, this very firm notion of, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? Is this helping you? And it's very healthy masculine. Very healthy masculine. Again, it's just how your energy is coming out. And you give this new direction for those that are seeking guidance, that need wisdom, that need more understanding from someone like you who is very respected. Excuse me. That burp is 100% signaling you're very much respected. Within the people around you, your community, whoever you come across, you carry an air of respectability. People are not going to cross you. And if they do, they will regret it. Mm-hmm. It's like you have, seeing this 3-4 here, it's like you have this balance and appreciation and love for the divine feminine. And then you have this balance and appreciation and love for the divine masculine. So that's why you operate the way in which you do. You do it in such a gracious and kick-ass way where you don't take people's bullshit. You're super courageous, and you are going to be the first one in your line to really tell people what's up. You say no to machismo. You say no to hypermasculinity. You say yes to the evolving notions of what healthy masculinity means, of this more soft and protective vibe. Yet I'm seeing a rose. So you have this really soft inner core that's beautifully grown, but you have thorns. So the wrong people who pick you or pick at you will get those thorns. But for the right people, they will see the nurturing of the blossom of the rose petals. Oh, I love this pile. Oh my goodness. This is such a sick pile. So for my pile 3s, why did their soul reincarnate? Why did my piles 3 soul reincarnate? Why did my pile 3 soul reincarnate? Divine source, keepers of, oh, thank you. Ooh, you have eclipse in Pisces. You have free will. Serve your higher purpose. So this is a bit different than Sun in Pisces, which is also higher purpose. This deals with the very existential aspects of free will, of responsibility. That is it. It's the responsibility that you carry that gives this new life, new direction. That is why your soul reincarnated, is to remind people what it means to be responsible, to remind people that accountability matters, to remind people that there are consequences to their actions and they have to start acting like it. That is why you reincarnated, is to give that understanding that free will isn't just some willy-nilly thing of, oh, let me just throw my fucking AirPod into the pool, haha, so funny. No, you recognize that free will is the alignment with the divine, with what your higher purpose is, what you wrote in your akashic records, what you set out to do in regards to making the world, heaven on earth, a better place to live, a more peaceful, more joyful, a more safe place to live. It feels like you'd be someone who would stop someone else from punching some random woman on the street. You'd be like, what the fuck are you doing? You'd probably go on forums, these really like nasty, hyper masculine 4chan-esque kind of forums, and be like, you all are a fucking joke. You know, it feels like you troll the incels. That's how you feel. That's really how you feel, and we adore that here on this channel. So why did my pile 3 soul reincarnate? Oops. There's a card that's already flipped. Ooh, that's interesting. You have the moon. See, and you carry this very nurturing aspect of you. You carry this very loving aspect of you. I've only known a couple of people who have Sun in Cancer in my life, but those that do are very much in tune with both their feminine and masculine sides, and they don't give a shit when other people like make fun of them. They're like, oh yeah, you're gonna try to make fun of me? See if I think that's funny. See, try to make fun of me. Try to put me down, because that's not gonna happen. Yeah, I'm just gonna double back down on you and make you regret why you've ever done that. That's how it feels. You have the 3 of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, you don't allow people to backtalk or gossip about other people behind their backs. You have the 6 of Pentacles. Yeah, you're so generous and giving and loving and compassionate. And you very much stand up for those that can't do that for themselves. You have the King of Cups. Of course you have the King of Cups. It's just that super healthy masculine that's so in tune and in line with their emotions and the divine and their capabilities of the self. You're someone who is just this master in regards to who they are, how they love, how they can give, and how they receive. So why did my pile 3s reincarnate? Why did my pile, thank you. We have 2 cards here. You have the Ace of Swords and the 3 of Wands. So you are here to move move into the future. With this Three of Wands especially, you are here to move the masculine into a more healthy version of the future, of what it means to be. You're here to rewrite what healthy masculinity means, and you're really here to bring new beginnings, knowledge, this sense of royalty, this emotional abundance to those that need it. You're here to really hold space for those and understand that being a healthy masculine is also being in touch with your emotions, being in touch with the people around them, being connected to all facets of life, being understanding and acknowledging the wisdom that the inner self, that the divine feminine has to offer. And that's why your divine masculine comes out, to protect those qualities, to protect those moralities, to protect that inner wisdom of being so in tune with feeling. And yeah, you're just someone who really doesn't take shit from others. It feels like you have, I'm being drawn to the wolf being chained to the moon. So it feels like you have your instincts controlled. And you let your intuition roam free, but you recognize where your instincts lie and how much control you have over them, and how you can help other people have that same control. Yeah. But in a very responsible way, in a very new way, and reevaluating what responsibility really means and what free will really means in regards to being able to connect to the divine and to connect to a purpose of being able to be there for others, to nurture others, to provide for others. Because you are this older soul, you have so much spiritual attainment already. You have a huge bank of wealth, of knowledge from your past lives, that you're able to be courageous in this lifetime, that you're really able to be the first one in your line, in your family lineage this lifetime, to say, no, fuck that. We're not doing it the patriarchal traditional way. We are reevaluating what healthy masculinity means, and we're doing it in a way that it's supposed to be, what it's supposed to mean. There's this, I forget what it's called. I forgot, one sec. But there's this name in Hawaiian culture. It's called kahu, and it has many meanings. It's like being a protector, a provider, a person who is their guardian, who's their steward, who's their beloved attendant. You are someone that is entrusted with the guidance of other souls. You are someone entrusted with this new direction of leading others to be in their healthy masculine. And that is what your soul is here for, and that is why it's reincarnated. So thank you so much for being here and letting me read for you. This was an epic reading. I absolutely adore this pile. This is the pile that gives me hope for life, of new beginnings. I'm getting emotional just talking about it. But yeah, it's people like you that make me believe that there's hope for humanity. So thank you for being you, and thank you for being here and reincarnating again. Thank you so much for your keepers of the record and divine source for being here to give this Messages to you, my beloved pile threes, keeping the beautiful guardian that you are, and your wisdom and soul deserves this peace and heaven on earth that you are creating. So again, thank you so much, and have a wonderful, great rest of your day, night, or evening. Take care. Bye. Hi, my pile fours. If you've chosen this card, then this is your reading. And today we're diving into the question of, why did my soul reincarnate? So this is your energy for this lifetime and your reincarnation now. And we are going to pull more cards as the reading progresses. So let's get started. You have hills, obstacles to overcome. Interesting. So this is a lifetime for you that is very much about progression, spiritual attainment, the potential for personal development. It feels like, this is going to be an interesting one, because it feels like for you, you've had to deal with a lot, period. You've just had to deal with a lot of obstacles, a lot of setbacks, a lot of people who weren't the kindest to you, who might have taken advantage of you, who were narcissists in both ends of the spectrum, who didn't appreciate you for who you are. You, in this lifetime, are here to overcome those obstacles. And that's not my favorite message to give, because I'm not trying to romanticize trauma, or I'm not here to say, like, you needed to go through that in order to be who you are. No, like, I really hate it when, like, that's the message, because it's not comforting. I don't find it comforting. It's more of the fact that you came here to reincarnate so that your soul is a stronger soul. It's more resilient. It's more understanding and compassionate. It feels like, it kind of feels a bit newer of a soul in regards to, when like a baby or toddler or like a child needs to like make mistakes in order for them to grow, in order for them to understand what life is. It feels like experience is your best teacher in regards to what this reincarnation is for your life. And yeah, I'm gonna pull more cards, because I definitely feel like that's not your only purpose here, to overcome obstacles. And I think it's a very like satisfying kind of reincarnation. It should be a very satisfying reincarnation, because even right now, look at all the past things that has happened to you, and look at all the past things that you made happen, and recognize that you overcame that. You overcame what a lot of people probably couldn't even handle. It feels like you're someone who can be under high level stress environments because of what you faced in the past, and it's given you this almost superhero aspect. I don't know what the show called, but I think it's called like Gen V or something like that. I'm not sure. I haven't watched it myself. I've just heard about it. But it's basically a show where these young adults have these superpowers, but with each superpower comes with a price, like, for example, like there's this superpower of desire. There's this woman who's able to make anyone fall in love with her, but it comes with the price of it can lead to dangerous scenarios, you know? So she later develops herself and trades her superpower of desire for clairvoyance to be able to see, and yeah, to be able to know as well, claircognizance. So it feels like what you have overcome has given you a leg up in an interesting way. It's kind of like when you play a game as well. Like, you might not like appreciate the harshness of like boss levels, of the challenges, but it's in those challenges that made you a better player, you know? For example, if you ever played Minecraft, you recognize that the mobs that you kill also give you beneficial loot for you to craft and create. It's a very interesting kind of notion of, yes, you did go through some really harsh realities, but it's only made you more equipped, more prepared, more established in who you are and how you can handle things, so that moving forward, as well as in your present, and you are able to be someone who can handle anything that comes your way. Yeah. So that was a hard message to kind of be able to say. And my camera just died there. So give me a second while I change my battery. Thank you for being patient with me while I change my battery. But yeah, so that is what your reincarnation is in regards to why you're still reincarnated this lifetime. We're going to pull more cards to see and get a deeper meaning of why you're still reincarnated this lifetime. So why did my pile fours? Thank you. You have Jeanette Rankin, a politician and activist. She waged a campaign to give women the right to vote and became the first woman elected to the U.S. House of Representatives. She also lobbied against entry into World War I. And she was the only member of Congress to vote against a U.S. declaration of war on Japan. She dared to be different. And again, it might be in a position where a lot of people have tried to really go against what your beliefs are, but no one can really tell you what to believe and how to believe what you do, you know? So for my pile fours, why did their soul reincarnate? Thank you. You have Grace Murray Hopper, who left her position at mathematics professor to join the U.S. Naval Reserve. She was assigned to work on the first electromechanical computer in the U.S. and wrote the 561-page user manual. And she was the oldest commissioned officer in the U.S. Navy. So with these two women, there were quite obstacles to overcome in regards to, for this one, her stance on warfare. And then this one, her age in serving. So some obstacles you might have had to overcome was ageism, as well as the questioning of your morality. And in your heart, you know what is right. In your heart, you know what's best. And in your heart, you know what you did was out of the compassion and love for other human beings. So again, these are the obstacles you might have had to overcome in order for you to really understand yourself and stick to yourself and stick to your own beliefs, your moral compass of who you are, and not letting other people tell you who you are. You also have Shan Xiangwu, a physicist who made important contributions to the Manhattan Project. She devised an experiment by which one of the basic laws of physics was overturned. And unfortunately, her extraordinary contributions were not acknowledged. And she was the first woman to receive an honorary doctorate from Princeton and had an asteroid named after her in 1990. So, and that's something that it really feels like, even though you've done so much for other people, they still cannot acknowledge how much your presence, your life has changed theirs. It feels like you're someone who's learning to not be validated by others, to not have other people's opinions sway you, to be true to yourself and knowing that you did your best with what you had. And if other people can't recognize it, it's their problem. You don't need that self-validation. And you don't need their validation. You only need self-validation. Okay, we're gonna get a couple of tea leaf cards for you. You have broken bridge, unsuccessful outcome to a problem. It's too many. It's interesting. And then you have frying pan, trouble, accusations. So yeah, it feels like with you, there's just been a lot of harshness surrounding your life. I'm not gonna lie. It feels like a lot of people have pitted you and made you the scapegoat. People have really backstabbed you, betrayed you, and really didn't give you the recognition that you deserved. And these cards keep coming out because I feel like there's a message that, like, I know I have to say it, but like I'm having a hard time saying it because it's not the most delightful message. In regards in your reincarnation, it feels like why you reincarnated is to be kind of like a Heyoka empath, to be this mirror, to be this person who, despite what happens to you, you still push on, push through, and you have this tenacity about you. And again, it's really hard for me to say because I don't like romanticizing trauma. I think that's the worst. But I'm not trying to romanticize it here. I'm just trying to say it how it is, you know? You have gone through a lot of shit. But it's made you a better person. It's made your soul a more fruitful character. It's made it more wiser, more discerning. It's made it more aware of the dangers and the mishappenings and the harmful accusations people can place onto you. So you've become a lot more resilient within your soul. A lot more resilient. All right. Why did my pile 4s reincarnate? Why did my pile 4s reincarnate? Not you getting Moon and Aries courage. Like, damn, believe in yourself. And that's a huge thing that's happened. Like, your soul's going through this process of transformation in which, again, you don't rely on other people for validation. It's a very much self-accountable, self-assured person. Someone who has the courage to be themselves. It's still very much believing in yourself and being authentic with yourself and trusting yourself. That is why you reincarnated, is to gain that kind of courage, that momentum. Why did my pile 4s, if I can have less cards, please. Why did thank you. You also have Sun in Cancer, home. Focus on your home and love. So you have reincarnated to really, your soul reincarnated to really understand that you are your own home. To have a home within yourself, to find your way back home always by being within your heart space, within who you are, and to have this discipline and stability of your routine, of your self-care, of your self-love, in order for you to come back home. Because you have the numbers 13 and 4, which is numerologically both 4, being one of stability, of discipline, of dependence, independence, interdependence, dependability, basically. And it feels like you're someone who, no matter hell and high water, you still have a home. You still have a footing in who you are and your soul. No matter what comes your way, you still know how to take care of yourself, and you still know how to be present and be yourself. Like, nothing's going to ever shake you. Nothing's ever going to break you. Nothing's ever going to change who you are. And that's what your soul wanted to do this lifetime in reincarnating here now. It's not always going to be like this. This is just for now. But it's definitely one where you are learning or have learned to really find a home within yourself, to believe in yourself, to be your own best friend, to be your own cheerleader. And you recognize that this lifetime is one where you get the privilege to understand yourself in a new way. And it feels like with all this hard work that you've put in yourself, there will be a reward. You know, with all the structure that you've put in regards to the responsibility that you've had, you will come out of this on the other side a more soulful, a more stronger, a less withered soul. So why did my pile 4's soul choose to reincarnate? You have the Knight of Swords in reverse. Yeah, it's to put down the swords, to put down the fighting. You have the Eight of Cups, to walk away. 5 of Pentacles, just to change. And to overcome, again, the hardships that happen in life. That this is an intense reading. Why did my pile 4's reincarnate? Why did their souls reincarnate this lifetime? They're like, no, just go with the cards you have. Okay. So this lifetime for you, again, is the potential of moving past a lot of emotional blockages, emotional hardships. It feels like this lifetime around, you're paying back the debt that your soul might have incurred over past lifetimes. And that's not, again, this is not my favorite message to give, because I really feel for you, my pile 4s. It's not easy to continuously be in this position of, oh, not another problem. Oh, not another person doing this to me. Oh, why me? Why me? And it really feels kind of like, it feels like the story of Jesus being crucified on the cross. And before his crucifixion, he screams out, or just kind of like says out loud, like, my God, why have you forsaken me? Because again, it's very much one where Jesus knows what's happening to him. It's not like he wanted to be crucified on the cross. It's not like he wanted to go through the pains of dying for, our sins. And again, I'm not Christian or Catholic. This is just the parables that were taught to me as a kid, by the way. But yeah, it's not like he wanted to go through that. He was human. He still lived in a human body. He still did not like the fact that he had to go through it. So the fact that if you're still listening and still like watching, kudos to you. You have the most strength. I wanted to say like the biggest balls. But like you have a really strong soul. Because what happens to Jesus is that, yes, he gets crucified. Yes, he dies, but then he's reborn again. And it feels like you might be on the turning point. You're not exactly there yet, but your soul is going through the process of being reborn again. And that is to say, like, don't think that like this is gonna be forever for you. This is just one part of the journey that you have. This is just right now. Like, as you go through this, you'll recognize why you had to go through this throughout your life. On the third day, he rose again. And it'll be the same with you. You will rise again. You will rise and you will recognize who you are because of the obstacles you've overcame. And honestly, like, I know how hard it is to listen to this message, because personally, when I was going through it, like, this was not exactly what I wanted to hear. This is not exactly what I wanted to know in regards to why my soul reincarnated, because I watch a lot of pick a card readings myself. So I know how frustrating and upsetting it must be to hear something like this for why your soul reincarnated. But just know that it will pass. You might want to do some Vipassana meditation, because Vipassana teaches you to recognize the present moment and recognize that all things pass. And it also might give you a space for you to kind of clear out a lot of this and clear out a lot of the pain. Personally, it has helped me clear out a lot of pain and trauma. So it's just, it's just a suggestion. Again, this is up to you. You can find whatever you need to do in order for you to get through this, because this is not an easy task. This is not an easy reincarnation. This is not something everyone signs up for. But only the strongest and the bravest and the most courageous people, the ones with the biggest hearts, are put on this planet to experience these things. And I hate that I had to say that, but experience is your best teacher. Experience will give you the compassion and understanding, the wisdom for you to know how to help others. This kind of feels like you're on a path of spiritual attainment, of spiritual enlightenment, in a way in which you will help so many people after you. Once you get through this, you'll be able to reach so many people and help them get through the same thing you're going through. Because if you ever had advice from like a friend or a therapist or someone who you trust, you feel more comfortable knowing that they went through the same thing too. It's kind of like a rite of passage in regards to being able to hold that space for others after you've gone through it. And right now, if you're going through it and you need someone to hold that space for you, please seek out the professionals. Seek out loved ones, seek out your own empowerment, your own guidance, your own akashic records, because this is something that is very much needed on your journey, but it's not the easiest journey. Just know you're going to overcome this. Know that the lessons that you are learning now are tools for your toolbox later, so that when you have a problem in life or other people need your advice, you have something ready and willing to give. But yeah, if you need that support, please, you can always comment down below, reach out to me privately. Happy to be a lending ear, but do so in a way where it is appropriate, that you can emotionally contain yourself and recognize where it comes from. Please do meditations for that self-control, emotional control. And know that you are doing the best that you can with what you got. So being easy on yourself right now will be amazing, because this will be one of the most satisfying reincarnations you've ever had. It's kind of like when you watch a movie and you watch the underdog go through all the crap that they have to go through in order to get to where they are. That's how it feels like with you. It feels like you've had obstacle after obstacle, but you kept pushing and you kept pushing and you kept pushing, and it's coming. The reward is coming. The spiritual attainment is coming. Just keep pushing it, because you will overcome it. That is what is being taught right now. This courage to have a home within yourself, to overcome all the hardships, to move past a lot of this emotional drama, to put down the swords of having to have external validation and find the home within. That is why you reincarnated and why your soul has reincarnated, my dear pile fours. Yeah. Find the home within. I'm sending you so much love, so much hugs, so much care and support at this time for you. Just know that you are 100% loved by the divine, your record keepers, your loved ones, your masters, teachers, angels, guides, by some random tarot reader on the internet, me. Just know that you're loved heavily and dearly, and that you will get through this, and you will become a more enlightened, more authentic version of the beautiful soul, beautifully authentic person you already are. So keep pushing. You got this. You got this. I'm sending you so much love and care. Take care, my pile fours. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, night, or evening.